GeorgeNotFound wants to bring back vlogging.
I'm about to see what Dream looks like for the first time ever.
But when I watched it, I knew that 11 million didn't watch the video properly. And I know that because when George sent me the retention graph, it's not pretty.
50.2%.
And there's ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. But what you want is a straight line.
So if George wants to lead the way in bringing back vlogging, his editing has to be better. So I'm gonna be a cheeky little bugger and roast his editing.
I'm just sitting here waiting for Dream to show up. Sound up went to go get him. It's all happening right now. That's me just 2 minutes away from meeting my...
Tell me again, what did you want there?
I don't know if it was necessarily the best clip, but I didn't also want to spoil. Maybe I should have had him like coming around the corner for a second.
That was exactly what I was gonna suggest. You teased, but you cut it off too soon. Whereas it's sometimes more interesting when you tease what would be towards the peak of the moment, the climax of the moment, and that's when we cut away. And that makes you go, fine,
I'll stay. I didn't actually think about changing the intro, but as soon as you brought that up, I was like, yeah, I mean, I could have made that better.
You probably had the intent. I don't think you asked whether the execution was there. Those are two faces, landing on the intent and then considering if it's executed. So here's something that I think bothers me here.
And today I'm finally going to meet him in real life for the first time ever. Also, I have never seen his face before.
That's a really important line, but I think it could have been emphasized just a little bit more. So you could probably crop in 30% and then emphasize that.
To meet him in real life for the first time ever. Also, I have never seen his face before.
Audiences, this is when you need to pay close attention to this line.
How big of an effect do you think that has? Like, let's say I did it. How many more views do I have?
You get the views, but the big question is how satisfied and how emotionally engaged were they? They might have been entertained, but how much were you able to really spark that emotional experience as well? Doing little touches like that gives them a bit more of an emotional experience as they are also entertained while watching this video.
I'm gonna be moving from England to Florida to move in with him anyway. What could possibly go wrong? I've wanted to move in.
I love the fact that you used silence to tell a joke, but I also want to ask, how much did you experiment with the timing of that silence?
30 seconds.
One of the most beautiful things about silences as the punchline is each frame makes it feel different every single time. It's always fun to experiment. How long could you stretch that out? Or how
long
short,
can we get away with?
How long, exactly, how long could you get away with? Let's just say I've made that just 50% longer.
What could possibly go wrong? I've wanted to move in with him and my...
So what happens if we really extend it out?
What could possibly go wrong? I've wanted to...
So even the timing of silence gives such an incredible story, depending on how short or long that you make it. That could have been a little bit too long to really have this underlying, oh, everything can go wrong.
And it did go wrong. We hate each other. I'm taking my visa back. I'm going back home.
We weren't really allowed to. I also had another huge problem.
You did the dramatic zoom ins there.
I started doing zooms and I was like, I don't want to overdo it.
It's overdoing it is a very easy line to cross, but as long as each one has a decent motivation as to why, it's justified. But if you're doing it on every other cut that's unmotivated without a good reason, that's when it gets overdone.
I've wanted to move in with him and my other friend Sapnap for literally years now, but due to certain global circumstances...
So like that was good, but you did use the fucking Vine boom sound effect.
Is that a problem? What's wrong with the Vine boom?
It's cliche, it's overdone.
I have trust in the Vine boom. The
trust in
stocks
the
are
Vine
high.
boom.
Even
Yeah.
10 years from now, it's gonna be great.
This has been one of the few memes that has survived.
It will prevail.
Fine, you can use the Vine sound effects, fine.
But after many, many months, I got denied.
That could have had a bit of
A Vine boom.
Fine, let's put that
A
there.
reverse Vine boom. I have never heard of this. Let's see what it sounds
But
like.
after many, many months, I got denied.
That's actually kind of cool.
That worked. Fine, the Vine boom sound effect works.
But that didn't stop me. I had a mission. I must get...
Oh yeah,
Had a mi-
I felt that.
But that didn't stop me. I had a mission. I must get a US visa.
You've had a relatively medium pace, and this is when the frustration begins. So therefore, this is when the editing
Should be faster.
exactly needs to start changing.
That didn't stop me. I had a mission. I must get a US visa. And wait, I did. I finally got my visa.
That was probably a bigger moment that I think should have been emphasized, because that is a life-changing moment. I've had the visa. I know how that feels.
It is definitely underplayed a bit.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So Dream promised me that as soon as I got my visa, he would show me his face, which would make me one of the first people in the world to see his face. So I called him. Hello?
Are you memeing? Are you memeing me?
I'm serious.
What do you think is wrong here? Bit of a hint, pacing.
Maybe it wasn't like quickly cut enough.
What I'm thinking is all of this so far could have been cut. You've chosen a decent in, which is then the initial
Hello?
Are you memeing?
You don't think it's important to show the initial moment I'm on call with him and he realizes I have the visa?
So it's an exciting moment for you, but narratively it does slow down the pace. My suggestion is by cutting this out and this being the in instead.
Which would make me one of the first people in the world to see his face. So I called him. I don't even want to look. Like, I'm actually scared.
That then becomes the story.
In my mind, that was an important clip that had to be in. It's Dream's reaction to hearing I got my visa. And obviously, if I cut it, it doesn't make sense to put it after this clip. We either cut it completely or we have both.
I do see that. I'm actually now wondering, could it have been placed somewhere else instead?
Finally got my visa.
Are you memeing me?
I'm serious.
You're being completely serious. Oh my god.
I wanted that moment of celebration. Maybe this is the moment. Here's you sharing with your friends. And then part of the promise is him saying, you got the visa, I'm gonna show you my face. And that's when you then give that exposition.
So Dream promised me that as soon as I got my visa, he would show me his face. I don't even want to look. Like, I'm actually scared. Okay, I'm just gonna do it.
I was waiting so long. Hello.
Oh my,
Hi.
I actually was not I don't know what I was expecting.
I like all of this. The only thing that I don't like about this is a genuinely very real moment in life. And you put comedic track underneath.
I don't like the song I used to.
Because it's a monumental moment, you've built it up anyway. And so you don't have to do any editing, just let it play.
Hello.
Oh my,
Hi.
I actually was not I don't know what I was expecting. You actually don't look at all like what I was expecting.
But honestly, what the fuck was this moment?
Say bye, Dream.
Bye.
Phone transition.
Go and explain yourself there.
I don't know. I did it in the moment. Now, yeah, looking back at it, it's like...
It undermines the peak emotion. Here is you having a great laugh.
No.
For me, that's a good out. I'm calling that the David Dobrik cut. You know how in David Dobrik, they always cut out on the peak laugh. The punchline joke. But then you just hold on for 11 seconds of potentially, in my opinion, dead air, and then see if we can then get that cut right on the peak of that laugh.
I'm screenshotting.
No.
So I was ready to pack up all of my bags and move to America.
Story just moves on.
This is better.
But before I did, I had to say a very sad goodbye to all of my friends from England. Yeah? I'm leaving to America. Oh, okay. Now that I said...
Yeah, it was a bit slow.
The joke is there, but I think it can be told cleaner. That pause can be potentially cut. So we're using an audio soundbite, closing that gap in between. Jay cut it ever so slightly, tells the joke a lot more efficiently the quicker we get out.
Goodbye to all of my friends from England. I'm leaving to America. Oh, okay. Now that
And then we move on.
Half the joke is the quickness of it and how I'm just out and I have one friend and I don't care, I'm gone. Now we've just emphasized it even more.
The quicker you can do it, the funnier it is.
after years of waiting, I was finally going to America. I got to the airport like 4 hours.
I like this energy. You're excited here. I love this.
And also to check out the planes. Plane.
Such a great joke, isn't it?
It's funny.
Let's go.
And then doing that, like, slightly not very, oh yeah, I'm getting on the plane. I love the fact that you laughed there because for me, that's a punchline beat. Punchline beats give great opportunities to kind of skip time a little bit. This is what I mean by efficiency in delivery.
And also to check out the planes. Plane.
And then we go on to the plane.
And also to check out the planes. Plane. I got one of those fancy plane tickets where you can...
It just keeps that momentum a little bit more.
I think I just left that because I liked my excitement. And I was like, oh, I just want to show that I am truly excited for this.
You're not wrong. Actually, it's a pacing thing to keep momentum. What you did have still has good reason to stay. And I think especially with your audience are so dedicated to you anyway. I think you can get away with those small moments.
I could make videos that are technically like low retention-y and they still would do well just because there's an audience for it. My goal is also to expand and have it as wide of an audience as possible.
For you is a balance. You look at that type of moment and then you would value for the audiences that are very much heavily invested in you and they're gonna really, really love that moment. And then is that worth the sacrifice for audiences who are not as emotionally engaged? And then for them, they go, oh, this is kind of boring, I'm getting a bit slow, I'm gonna click off. Pacing is one of the most effective ways of acknowledging those audiences who are not as engaged. Hey, for you, I'm keeping this video a little bit slightly higher pacer so you can enjoy this a bit better. But if you can sneak in those small moments for the dedicated audience to really love you even more, that's the balance.
Now I'm going to spoil the end of George's video by showing you this clip.
There he is.
Do you hear that song?
We did it! Yeah!
That's Heat Waves by Glass Animals, which was one of the biggest songs of this year. So how the bloody hell did George get to play that song without a copyright strike and it not cost an arm and a leg? And the answer is licked. Now we can have Glass Animals Bruno Mars, Cardi B, Charlie Puth, and Sam Smith play in our content. And the best part is you can still monetize your video. On top of their collection of mainstream music is a massive collection of stock music. There are now over 1 million stock and mainstream tracks on Lick. That makes it the biggest music catalog for creators. And when a video feels better, your retention stays up. So sign up to Licked with my link for 14 days free stock music and 50% off your first mainstream chart track.
There it goes.
I like the energy. I like these jokes.
I'm on the wrong side.
Yeah, are you like an idiot?
No, I'm not an idiot. We have it the other way around.
It's great. I like that because that kind of gives away straight away a fish out of water type of moment.
All this time.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What the?
But I do wonder though.
Just cuts right into it.
Yeah, just cut right into it.
Have it the other way around. What the?
Yeah,
It's just cleaner.
it's just cleaner.
We have to pay homage. The best singer, songwriter, and
Yeah.
producer.
I wear a mask with a smile.
It's a nice moment with him setting it up, but could have also been a bit more funnier if we go straight into that singing as well.
We're in Florida. I wear a mask with a smile.
Yeah?
It works. Or even that.
Yeah, that one's probably a bit more hype.
We're in Florida. You can see I tried.
It's a lot cleaner.
Just making these cuts tight and fast and having that consistent pace to match the excitement that you had on camera. But then you cut it because you pause the song.
Wait, should I call someone?
So like the music's cut. However though, it's such a great vibe.
Keep the music, but now in the edit.
Yes, keep the music in the edit, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of just adds just a bit more of a nicer energy.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheesy, but I kind of love it.
I like it.
Yeah. And then you can then use this opportunity to then transition into the next scene.
All right.
Welcome.
Yeah, it meshes it all together a bit better.
So
Yeah.
it's been like almost 3 years.
You ready?
Yeah.
And then the music
Dream.
fades.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Excited? I am very nervous.
There it is. Subscribe, everyone.
I know why you put that subscribed thing there, because this is like the highlight of the video, but it took away from the IRL experience.
I've had very good experiences with subscribe animations.
Yeah.
In my mind, it didn't take away too much, but I see what you're saying.
Especially for new viewers, if they've watched throughout this whole video, they've probably enjoyed your company. And this is when you can tell them, hey, if you're enjoying this, I do more of this. Here's a reminder to subscribe. I think yes, like that does work, but the potential could have been a better way of putting this. What it is, I agree with it, and I also disagree with it.
If you're enjoying Hayden absolutely destroying my edit, then make sure to subscribe.
Nervous and excited.
I also would have not had any music here as well. I think especially because of the music cue that we just had, this is probably on the right to play out IRL as well.
He's coming.
Like, I just feel kind of manipulated.
Oh God.
We've had the great mask song. That's created really, really great energy. You've earned the right to have a scene play IRL.
An exciting day.
Nerve-wracking day too. Yeah, it's an exciting day, big day.
And as we're transitioning in towards the next emotional moment, that's when the music cue comes in. And then you then bring in the Glass Animals track.
Is he coming from in there?
I think so.
And so what it now tells me is this is why this moment's important. But because you put that piano track in between, that music cue with Glass Animals doesn't feel as impactful for me. Good vibes. It's warm. Like, we all know this song, and so you already, like, I feel great with this.
What do you think about the lens flares?
I do like it visually, because again, Dream as a very massive creator, it kind of gives him that God complex, but in a really nice way.
Because I remember seeing it, I was like, that's kind of interesting. I don't know if I like it or not.
If he was just some dude, it would have been confusing, but because it's Dream, it kind of suits him really well.
What do you do if I told you I edited that in afterwards?
I would be impressed, but I don't believe you. Well, fuck it, you know what? Let's do that. Might be a bit too much.
Maybe a little bit.
I like this is IRL, like keep it real. Let the lens flare that happened organically be the joke. I love it, it's worth keeping that.
Oh my God.
It's a beautiful moment, he's backlit.
Way. We did it.
And then you put in the drop of the music as you guys meet. Like, Really good music theory. This is great. You're not cutting. Like, well, now you cut. But that entire thing, that's what I mean by an IRL moment that you don't have to cut because I'm well tuned in. It's the fact that you didn't cut here and let that moment play out so nicely.
This is the moment that people are coming for.
Yeah, and so you don't have to do that much. You can just let this play, and you did. You throw in a nice track just to keep up the vibes. Once you got to that peak of that moment, you then cut to the next best part.
We did it, just us two.
I love Dream's energy because, like, look at that. You can just see his excitement. He's like, yes, I'm finally on camera.
Yeah! Woo! This is terrible.
That's where I think the video should have ended. For me, that's kind of funny.
Yeah! Woo! This is terrible.
See? The reason why is because this is the highlight moment. This is the bit that everyone's tuned in for.
There's gonna be a big drop off here.
But then you kept on the vlog running for another minute and 39 seconds. But for me, I've tuned out because I've hit the climax. I've hit the peak moment. I now want out. So sometimes it's better for you to give me the out rather than me choosing to go out.
Yeah, I think this is another one of those for more of the fan patches, the cat, like she's very well known in our audience and everyone loves her.
One of the things, and I've really appreciated the discussion we've had, is you're choosing to make more moments for your audience that you have and investing in their personal relationships. Whereas I think most creators choose to prioritize the growth. Try to get as many people as possible into their vlog, get them in, show them as much as possible, as fast as possible, and get them out before they realize the video's ended. Whereas you, it's like you're actually wanting those small moments for the audience that you're the most invested in, which can be that 30 to 40% that choose to watch the whole video. You're prioritizing them the most, and they are developing a better relationship with you. And you're still getting those 9 million views.
This one was more for, you know, the hardcore audience that really knows us. Going forward, a lot of these moments that you picked up on, I think won't happen. Because this story is a very personal story.
Yeah.
Whereas videos going forward they're not necessarily gonna be like that.
It's still worth you sneaking in some moments because it's exciting when we see the adventure through your perspective. That's what makes that content, gives it much more of a soul.
Can I keep coming back to you for reviews of my videos?
I might have to start charging next time.
Now there's more content on video editing and storytelling on the Editing Podcast, where we learn how to edit a Ryan Trahan vlog,
I conducted a Harmon Circle with the Penny series.
how to edit a Michelle Carre challenge video,
Retention has been the worst thing to come through our edit suite.
and with Yes Theory, how to edit a cinematic documentary. So to learn more, subscribe to the Editing Podcast.